What's happening, everybody? This is a shout out to all the special fellows out there, you know, especially talking about the MBTP community, men becoming the prize. I want to chime in on a topic of conversation that has been rallying in my brain for a bit and has been taking the internet by storm a bit. Passport bros. Now, there's this one woman that I've checked out a number of her videos on YouTube. She's a very sweet, very humble sort of girl. I can tell that she was raised in a respectable home. She even admitted that her father was a hardworking man. Her name is Courtney Ryan, and she did a reaction video right here of passport bros are being shamed for leaving this dating pool. Now, what dating pool is she specifically talking about? That is the American dating pool. All right. Now, this is what I think about the whole Passport Bros movement. I totally understand. I can understand why a lot of guys nowadays are choosing to say, forget all these modern day American women. I'm just going to go elsewhere to go ahead and find myself a girlfriend and a potential wife. Because overall, unless you are dating a woman comes from a more traditional, especially Judeo-Christian background, who was raised more down south in the Midwest, and anything of such, women nowadays are not marriage material. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read a paragraph that I posted in the comment section of her video, and it goes like this. I'm going to keep it 100% that modern day American women don't appreciate men as much as women of other countries. And that is exactly why so many of us are going overseas. Women here in general, unless she was raised in a traditional and conservative background and raised to respect men, are being brainwashed by modern day feminism, social media that they don't need us when the fact is that we built the world and do all the heavy lifting. Even if you approach them with potential interest romantically today, especially at work, which I'm going to discuss about because I have a personal story in that regard, they accuse you of sexual harassment and some other nonsense. Also, over half of all marriages in the United States end in divorce, and over 80% of all divorces are filed by women because, in general, they want what they can't have or what only exists in their dreams. Overall, the quality and caliber of American women today, as far as having romantic relationships with, is the worst it has ever been. And that is why even good men are going overseas where they are respected and treated like kings instead of like peasants or the enemy here. You may be the exception, Courtney, but trust me, this is the reality of the situation for us as men. If women here don't get it together, they're going to end up dying alone or being with weak men that they don't want to begin with. Now, here's what it is, guys. I understand what you're going through, okay? Look at me. I'm a pretty handsome, attractive guy who's confident, who knows what he wants and where he's going. As of right now, I am a mid level cook at a high end resort and country club. I'm a hands on artistic sort of guy, and I know how to go ahead and talk with girls, okay? I'm not afraid about talking with women. I know how to go ahead and say something special and charming and cute about her, and then lead the conversation into um, something potential, something which you can go ahead and build something with her. But I noticed that a lot of young girls nowadays do not appreciate that, or they find you to be creepy or whatever. And I think that overall, if you want to go ahead and find yourself a quality woman who is marriage material, it's not going to be here. Okay. She even brought this up. This one point is that a lot of the clips that she saw in this video, this compilation together about women who brag about how many dicks they suck, how many guys they slept with, or whatever, they came from major cities. And that's a good point, is that a lot of women in major cities tend to be more so on the city girl side, aka, you know what I'm talking about. But if she comes from the countryside, if she was raised in the church, which is a better place to meet quality women versus going to the bars and the clubs, because she especially is going, she's especially going to be like that. It's a lot of women nowadays are just a waste of time. Okay, talking about this right here is that for the past 50 years or so, women have been raised to think that, oh, I don't need a man. I can do it all on my own. I have my career. I have my college education. Who needs a man? A man is only optional. Men are so disposable. Men are stupid and blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, I come to understand this. I've gone out with women before, okay? Check this out. I am half Mexican myself, okay? And my experience with women, especially Latin women from other countries, is that they have more respect for men and expect men to go ahead and approach them romantically, okay? But women nowadays, it's like they don't really have any respect for men. And when you try to approach them at work with potential interest, like, ew, you're being creepy right now. What's the matter with you? And then they'll go to HR and your job and accuse you of, oh, he's being a creep, sexual harassment, blah, blah, blah. I had this one incident with this one girl who even said that she was interested in me. And I heard that from her other girlfriends at work. And then I went and I approached her. I said, look, do you want to go ahead and, are you still interested in me? Do you want to go and go out? And I walked up to her doing that. She's like, no, I only consider you as a friend. And then she goes over to human resources and says that, oh, I feel uncomfortable and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, no. That's not my thing, all right? If you didn't want to be with me, you should have just let me know, okay? But the fact is that a lot of these young girls nowadays, they have no social skills and are not used to having guys go and approach them, because most guys nowadays don't approach girls because they don't have the skills anyways. They're lame and they have no game. That's just what it is. They don't know how to talk to women and how to get women's attention, because all they do all day, instead of learning how to do that, is they stay home, play video games, masturbate to porn, smoke pot, and drink. But let's get back to this a little bit. Women in general in this country do not have a strong appreciation for men. They say, oh, we don't need men. Well, if you don't need a man, then why is it that almost every day when I'm at work and a woman needs like a box that's heavy for her, she asks me, a man, can you lift this for me? The fact, I remember I saw this one video of one of my main guys, Kevin Samuels, talking to this one woman about what are the roles of women. And this one woman said, my role is to teach, my role is to nurture. And he said, nope. The role of the female is to support the male. And she's like, what? And then Kevin said, what? You womanist, feminist, have no idea that you are living counter to nature. How so? Name me an animal species in which the females can survive on their own without the group or the males. Well, how about the men can survive without the females? And he said, we don't need you. We built the world. And the fact is that's just the reality. The foundation of the world has been men who do all the hard work and heavy lifting. Besides, ladies, who made that car you drive? Who built that home you live in? Who is responsible for the roads you drive on? Okay? All that stuff. All right? If men were taken out of society, society would collapse. Yes, you play your role in certain things, but you cannot do things on your own. You need a guy to go ahead. What happens when your toilet breaks down? You call up a guy. What happens when your car breaks down? You call up a guy. Yes, there are women who are plumbers. Yes, there are women that are mechanics, but they're not your typical girly girl and, all glammed out, wearing makeup, you know, beautiful in high heels or whatever. The women that usually work in those sort of industries are women that are more on the masculine side. You know, that's I've known because I've seen women who are like that. Even the women who I see at work who are chefs, yes, they are pretty attractive women, but they're not sweet and gentle. They're tough. They are tough chicks. You know, they are tough chicks that will probably beat up a guy themselves. But getting back into what I said is that, women do not understand when a man approaches you romantically, he's not always a creep. He's just, like myself, a good guy who's not afraid to go after what he wants if he sees some potential in her. But a lot of these girls, especially younger girls nowadays, they don't understand that. I remember I talked with this one young girl's boss, her manager, and I said, "Look, I wasn't being a creep. It's just a lot of these young girls nowadays do not understand when a guy approaches you, he's not being a creep. And a lot of these young girls young people in general have no social skills and face-to-face interaction skills because they're used to just doing this. LOL. I'm more old school, okay? I'm from back in the days of my parents, in which if you were going to go ahead and get a woman's attention, you had the balls to go up there and talk to her. Hey, how are you doing? I must say that dress looks very lovely on you. I can tell you're an elegant woman that has a lovely style. What's your name? What do you do to afford a dress that's like that? Oh, what do I do? I'm a mid-level cook. I'm working my way up becoming a chef, and I may not be where I want to be now, but I'm making the proper steps in order to go to where I want to be. And I think I see a woman like you as being someone I would want to spend my precious time with, but only if you want to do it. My door is open for you if you want to come on in. If not, I'll find someone else. So what's it going to be? If they say yes, then that's all good. If they say no, on to the next opportunity. It's not being a creep. It's just being a man who understands that you have options and you're not afraid to go after it. But even if you're like that, they say, oh, and it's like, all right, whatever. But let me get back to another personal story. Is that a lot of times women from other countries, they appreciate a man who approaches you like that. You know, there's this one woman, I'm not going to say her name, but she was a sweet, gentle, lovely woman from Colombia. She was older than me, but still. I mean, I'm about to be 30 years old, and I wouldn't mind going ahead and approaching women who are in their mid 40s, especially women who are potentially cougars. I'm just being honest with you. I'm in a middle point, which I can go to this range and that range. So there's this one woman who I've always thought was pretty attractive, and she was she had a fan, one of those old school Chinese fans, one day at work, and she was working to register at her job. And I went up to her and said, "Hey, why are you fanning yourself like that? What's that for?" "Oh, this stupid fan up there isn't working. That's why I haven't." And I said to her, whisper, "No, es porque usted es muy caliente." And she's like, "Shut up." For those of you who don't know Spanish, that means, "No, it's because you're very hot." And you know what? She liked it. She appreciated it. Because From my experience, women in other countries, like Latin American countries, they like it when a man goes up to her and approaches her and says something sweet and romantic and funny, and it compliments her. You know, that's some real game for you guys. If you want to go ahead and get a woman's attention, you say something sweet and complimentary about her that's also very witty and funny and makes her laugh. That's the number one thing you get to get a woman's attention. But women now in the United States, they say, "Oh, you're just being a creep. You're being a rapist," and blah blah blah. Well, on to the next thing. I come to realize this. I really don't want to get married nowadays in the United States, okay? I don't. Nope. No, 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 no. No. Okay? Not unless she is more of a traditional conservative woman from who was raised in the church or anything like that. Don't even waste your time. Don't waste your time. Okay? Statistics have shown that over half of all marriages end in divorce, and 80% of them are initiated by women. Okay? Because also I come to realize is that a lot of women nowadays are not concerned about what they can give to a man, but what they can get from a man, especially with what is inside of this. You know what I'm talking about. It's like a lot of women, they just want to go ahead and use a guy in order to get what she wants, especially when it comes to his money. I mean, the fact of it is that these women talk about, oh, we're independent. We can get what we want, but I still want a guy to pay for everything or pretty much all of everything. I think, what? That means that what you really want is that you want the benefits of being a man, but not the responsibility of being a man. Whereas, hold on a sec. I gotta polish these sunglasses real quick. Whereas, I've talked to a buddy of mine, a good friend of mine, who is from Mexico, and he agreed with me on this, is that women in other countries, especially in Latin America, they are taught that you find yourself a good man who's honest and loyal and hardworking, who will help to take care of you and your children that you share together and you raise them together, and you treat him like a king. If he's a good man, you treat him like a good man. You feed him, you bathe him, you take care of his clothes, you take care of the children at home, you treat him with respect. All right? And that's what I want from a woman. That's why, even for myself, I can say I agree with Passport Bros and why I wear this. Because I believe that overall, if you want to get yourself a quality woman, go to Latin America, go to Mexico, go to Colombia, go to Brazil, go to Argentina, go to Puerto Rico, go to Panama. But overall here in the United States, not really. Unless she was raised down south in the countryside on a ranch or in the Midwest somewhere like that, don't even bother with these women nowadays, okay? So overall, I mean, no disrespect to you, Courtney Ryan. I can tell you're a very sweet girl. You were raised right. But most of your other girlfriends, even the girls that you interview on your show, are not like that at all, okay? They are not like that at all, okay? I'll tell you one other personal story. My father, years ago, dated this one woman who was a professional career woman, strong personality, don't need a man, blah, blah, blah. And she was a woman's gynecologist in San Diego. In the end, it didn't work out. It did not work out because they were always butting heads. Because she didn't know how to go ahead and submit. Both my dad and her were two strong personalities that were very domineering, and they couldn't really give in to each other. Like, I remember when my dad would go and talk with her sometimes, and she would want to take over the conversation and be like, God damn it, I was talking. Just listen to me. She couldn't really do it. She was a professional, domineering career woman who the only type of man that she would honestly be able to get is what you call a beta male. A man who is submissive, who doesn't have a backbone, who is used as a doormat to women. And my dad wasn't like that, and I'm not even like that, One thing I realize is this, for myself, is that I am a pretty bad boy. I'm handsome and charming. I'm a guy who likes to go ahead and do his own thing and play by his own rules, and I don't do anything just because everyone else is doing it. I do it because I want to do it. I'm a pretty bad boy who needs a pretty bad girl. But we work together like Bonnie and Clyde. We have a partnership. I am not, leading her, and she's not necessarily leading me, but we partner up and we work together. And I've dated a couple of girls who are like that, but they're pretty rare, and I chased them away at the time because I was being too much a jerk at the time. But getting back to the conversation of passport bros, guys, if you can go and find yourself a good girl overseas, go for it, okay? Especially given the fact that a lot of women nowadays, they don't care about you. They're not going to look good for you and blah, blah, blah. And they don't respect men, so go for it. I mean, women overall now are just a waste of time. So if you have to go ahead and save up your money to take a trip somewhere, and get your passport, go for it. I'm considering doing that. And even another thing why a lot of men are going to women overseas, I would say, because overall, women in those countries, especially Colombia and Mexico and Puerto Rico and Panama and Venezuela, they are some of the hottest and most beautiful women in the world, especially... You know what I'm talking about? I'm not going to lie. A lot of women in those countries, they are beautiful, curvaceous, and feminine. And it's just like, woo-wee. And they like it when a handsome, charming man goes ahead and approaches them. Like, ay, papi. That's what I like. But the women here, it's just like, nah, I'm good. Overall, I'm good. I have women all the time who are interested in me, or I can go and talk with women who I'm potentially interested in. But overall, I realize a lot of women in general nowadays are just a waste of time. So I think that, you know what, I would consider going ahead and reserve myself for a woman from another country too. Okay? If I find an American woman here who's an exception to the rule, then that's all good. But if not, I'm cool just making myself the prize, reserve myself for the prize catch. And overall, I see the prize catch as being overseas too. So all you passport bros, go ahead and do your thing. But just make sure that you are the prize first. Don't pedestalize her too much. Make sure that you are the prize first. Be the best you can be. And like one of my main mentors said, stay hungry and remember, you are the prize. That means stay hungry, meaning want the best for yourself, don't accept no bullshit from anyone, and you become the best version of what you can be in all areas of your life, and you'll attract the right one. And if that means getting yourself a woman from somewhere else, then go for it. My salute to you guys. Keep moving forward. And don't sell for all this nonsense and BS with a lot of girls nowadays. But anyways, peace out. I'll discuss this further later. And you enjoy yourselves. You have a good day.